Good evening and welcome to the 2023 Induction Ceremony for High Point Regional High School's National and Academic Honor Societies. We have many honor societies represented here tonight, which all involve a rigorous application process in order to be inducted. I want to congratulate all of the students here for their hard work and dedication, as well as the parents for always showing their support and helping to raise such smart, capable, and passionate young adults. As many students will be inducted tonight, we ask that you please hold your applause until all new members of each representative honor society are inducted. Now, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem, which will be sung by Amelia Race. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I would now like to introduce Mr. Seamus Campbell.
I'm certainly not going to sing. That was absolutely tremendous. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. On behalf of our entire administration, Board of Education, our Superintendent, Dr. Ripley, I want to welcome you all here this evening as we celebrate these outstanding students. Tonight we celebrate some incredible hard work and accomplishment of these young men and women, but tonight is also a night to recognize and celebrate those who helped guide them to this point. Friends, siblings, certainly teachers, relatives, and most of all, parents. Mom, Dad, congratulations. Their success is a reflection of your dedication and hard work, so I hope you enjoy seeing them shine here tonight. We live in an age that undeniably has us bombarded with doubt, cynicism, negativity, and it often takes a concerted effort to cut through that and to be optimistic and hopeful. On the stage this evening, there are 68 undeniable, irrefutable reasons for hope. These students truly aspire to tackle the world's problems. And just as they have made this school a better place, they will one day make our world a better place. So tonight, let's dream, okay? This is a stage, it's a place where magic happens. Let us think about the world that they will one day create and the world they will one day lead us through. Let's celebrate their hard work, let's celebrate their many accomplishments, and let's celebrate hope. It's an honor to introduce our building principal, who I sometimes think lives here, but it wouldn't be a school event if he's not here. He's a tremendous champion of our students, Mr. John Talamy.
I'm just really glad. I think we haven't had any fires yet. Sometimes that's always a possibility with the flame that's there. The last time I sat at this mic and stood at this mic was a little bit different story. Hopefully I can keep it together better than that time for our program. I just want to say thank you to you as parents. As a parent myself this evening, it's an honor and a blessing to have this opportunity to celebrate each one of our sons and daughters and what they represent and who they are each and every day. And as Mr. Campbell said, it takes an army and a village to get them here. Not just physically here sometimes, but throughout the journey of life, and throughout the last 4 years in particular. And it's been a challenging 4 years, but they have endured and they have continued to endure. And as Mr. Campbell said, they're going to do great things. And I just wanted to speak to them for a second that you've already done great things. We know that each and every one of you has made your mark, continues to make your mark here at High Point Regional High School, and we're blessed by that every single day. And it really is a true inspiration, whether we're working with you as individuals or working with you as groups or as a whole class. You are consistently and always making a difference. Don't ever forget that. As I say to many of the students in these ceremonies, it's an awesome privilege and honor to be up here, to wear your cords, get your certificate, and stand in front of your parents. These cords and these certificates are honors and recognition for what you've done, what you've achieved, and what you will achieve, right? They do not represent who you are, though. Right? Who you are as people and as humans, and have been in our hallways every single day and will continue to be, is really the inspiration that inspires me to try to do better for you as well. So keep that in mind. Keep up the great work. We're not done yet. Remember, we still have a little bit left of school. Some of those that are thinking about the next chapter. The next chapter will come, but enjoy the chapter that you're in right now, because as we talked about with our seniors last week, our senior parents last week for our senior parent night, it goes fast. To our seniors, it was a blink of an eye. We sat in this auditorium in the beginning of the year and watched the graduation video from last year and said, we'll be back here again at the end of the year, and then the year's coming. So enjoy it, right? Enjoy the memories along the way. Be safe. Enjoy each other's company. I want to also highlight, they're behind me trying to hide, but our advisors. Round of applause for our advisors, please. They love when I highlight all that they've done, but thank you again for all you've done for us throughout this year, but also for these students and also for this ceremony. And without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to the students. Mrs. Trenton.
Good evening. So I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Melanie LaTrenta, advisor of the Business National Honor Society, and I want to offer my congratulations to this exceptional group of young men and women, and also to the parents. Great job. These students should be commended not only for their academic excellence, but also for their leadership skills and contributions to our overall community. I would now like to introduce the National Business Honor Society President, Katrina McCormick.
Good evening. I'm Katrina McCormick. The National Business Honor Society is sponsored by the NBEA, the National Business Education Association. The purpose of the National Business Honor Society are to promote and recognize academic achievement in business education at the high school level, foster and recognize leadership skills and character development, help members grow ethically and socially by promoting and encouraging interest in business, and encourage member involvement in service learning. In order to be considered as a member of this honor society, our members must have taken several business courses at High Point, must have met school-wide GPA 3.9 or better, attained at least a 90 average in all of their business courses, as well as been involved in good standing in leadership role in one of their activities. We are pleased to induct new members into the National Business Honor Society this evening. As your name is called, please stand and come forward. Sam Decker, Logan Gumpy, Caitlin Logan, myself, and Melanie Rosses. Congratulations. Like to introduce Mrs. Jean Marie Carroll, advisor of the Foreign Language Honor Society.
Good evening. We now ask you to join us in witnessing the induction of the new members of the Foreign Language National Honor Society. This society consists of two chapters. French chapter is Fleur-de-Lis, and the Spanish chapter is De Soto. All of these students have fulfilled national requirements in the areas of scholarship and character. These students are truly outstanding in every sense of the word, and we can all be extremely proud of their impressive accomplishments. Paige Patry will carry out the French portion of the ceremony. Paige, please come forward.
Nous sommes là ce soir à honneur des étudiants de français qui sont nouveaux membres de la Société honoraire de français. Ce sont les étudiants qui ont atteint une qualité excellente dans leur étude de la langue et la culture française. We are gathered here this evening to honor the new members of the French Honor Society. These students have continued to demonstrate the highest level of excellence in their studies of the French language and culture. Maintenant, nous vous présentons ceux qui sont déjà membres de la Société honoraire de français. New inductees, please rise and come forward as I call your name. Clara Doherty, Anastasia Wozniak. We now present to you the current members of the French Honor Society. Mademoiselle, vous êtes prête à accepter et faire respecter l'engagement et les idéaux de notre société? Nous allons réciter ensemble le sermon de la loi de notre société. Par ce flambeau, symbole de transfert de connaissances, je m'engage à continuer sans relâche mes efforts pour m'instruire et transmettre aux futures générations mon amour pour la langue et la culture française. Congratulations. You can be seated now. Foreign Language National Honor Society President Michaela Nelson will carry out the Spanish portion of the ceremony. Michaela, please come forward.
New and current members of the Society, greetings. We are here for the initiation of those who have demonstrated excellence in Spanish as well as an avid interest in the language. Today we have the honor of presenting these candidates who have accepted the invitation to join the Hispanic Honor Society. New inductees, please rise and come forward as I call your name to be recognized. Miso Brownbridge, Nicole Damstra, Caitlin Leisure, Giselle Monroy, Nicole Palmenberg, Rebecca Kiros, Melanie Rossi, Demetrius Savopoulos, Julia Saminsky, Lily Simons, and Nicholas Thomas. Current inductees, please return to your seats but remain standing. We are also pleased to present those who are members for the second year. Current members, please rise and remain standing. Ahora, nosotros repetiremos el juramento de nuestra sociedad frase por frase. We will now repeat the pledge of our society phrase by phrase. Como miembro del capítulo de Soto, prometo dedicarme al estudio de la lengua española con el fin de dominarla algún día, recordando que una lengua puede ser un lazo fuerte entre personas de distintos orígenes, razas y religiones. Permita promover la amistad y el entendimiento entre mi patria y los otros países del mundo. Esta es mi promesa y mi juramento. Amigos, ahora somos miembros de este capítulo de la Sociedad Honoraria Hispánica. Mr. Talamay, on behalf of the Foreign Language National Honor Society of High Point Regional High School, do you accept our oath?
I do.
I would like to introduce Ms. Ann Yacarino and Mrs. Justine Regal, advisors of Mu Alpha Theta.
Welcome and congratulations on your initiation into Mu Alpha Theta, the National High School and Two-Year College Mathematics Honor Society.
It is with proud recognition of your skill and interest in mathematics that we welcome you to Mu Alpha Theta. May we someday add your name to the list of great mathematicians who have helped the world to advance.
We would like to begin by honoring our senior members. Please stand. Congratulations and our best wishes go with you as you continue your educational journeys. Michaela Chiarello and Kyla Richards will now tell you a bit about the symbolism in our banner and introduce you to our new members.
You see before a replica of the insignia of Mu Alpha Theta. Blue represents the truth as unlimited as the sky. Gold shines as a symbol that mathematics is indeed a valuable treasure. The insignia represents above all a high point in the history of the world, an important relationship in mathematics, one that combines the mystery, the challenge, and the beauty of numbers with a simple geometric figure, the right triangle. Let this simple geometric proof of the Pythagorean theorem be a symbol for you and serve as a challenge to encourage your further enjoyment and study of mathematics.
Candidates, please rise. Each of you meets the requirements for membership, including work done with distinction in college preparatory mathematics. If you agree to accept the challenge of membership to this organization, you should now answer simply, I do. I now declare you members of Nu Alpha Theta. As your name is called, please proceed to the front of the stage to be recognized. Miso Brownbridge. Rachel Damstra. Aaron Demansky. Georgia Gelderman. Joelle Morales. Julia Saminsky. Lily Simons. Nicholas Thomas. And Catherine Weiss. Congratulations again. You may now all be seated. I would now like to introduce Mr. Art Mina, advisor to the High Point Regional Chapter of the National Honor Society.
Welcome and thank you everybody who's been involved in this process, our administration, my fellow advisors, parents, the faculty, and occasionally the students too. I am privileged, I'm honored to have been able to serve as the advisor to the National Honor Society here. My tenure goes way back to other schools, and the process is still always overwhelming and it's amazing to me. And I was listening to Mr. Campbell talk about the great students that we have and their place in the history that's going to be history someday, but it hasn't even happened yet. We're going to look to them for solutions to problems that we don't even know exist yet. I was listening to Mr. Talamay talk about the greatness of our students here and the things that make this school great. And I thought about that word great, and it just took me back. About 10 years ago, I was at a conference in San Francisco. It's American Geophysical Union. I was doing a presentation on some research that I had done for a thesis, and it was on slow slip earthquakes and geophysical phenomenon, and it would be exciting to you if you didn't have a life. But somehow I was drawn to it, and we had a keynote speaker from, it was from Caltech in Pasadena, Earthquake Central of the world. And strangely enough, he started talking about greatness. He talked about great people. He talked about people in our line of work and people in education, people in government, people who other people perceived as great people. And I remember it to this day. It was very exciting to listen to, as most science people aren't. And he kind of caught my attention, and he started talking about definition of great. And at some point, he sort of stopped, and he said, "You know what? There's no great people in this world." And I thought at that point I started to wake up. He said, "No, there's no great people." He said, "There are only people, ordinary people, with desire and determination." He said it with a lot more emphasis than I could ever do. And I thought, that's wrong. There are great people in the world. There are great people all around us. You know them, I know them. I had already been working at the school for a long time, and I knew that I was surrounded by them every single day. These are great people. These are great students. They're going to do great things with their life. And it's thrilling to me. It makes it worth my time to come into school and be in their presence. You have them at home. You know what that's like. So I just wanted to congratulate all of them, all the different societies, for the hard work I know that goes into it. Because I worked really hard, and I didn't even get close. So I know what they have to go through. Now, my obligatory disclaimer, I guess, and I'll read it so I don't go off script, but the National Honor Society, we just finished celebrating our 102nd anniversary. And I get razzed every once in a while because they think I was actually around at the beginning of it, but I wasn't. The National Honor Society was founded by the National Association of Secondary School Principals in 1921 for the purpose of recognizing and encouraging academic achievement while also developing other life skills essential to good citizenship. These four ideals, or pillars as we call them in the National Honor Society, namely scholarship, leadership, service, and character. These are the cornerstones, and they remain the cornerstones of the society since its inception. High Point chapter of the National Honor Society serves as a central organization for other various honor societies within the school that are welcoming their newly inducted members this evening, all of which are in front of you. Tonight we'll formally recognize those students who have been selected by the Faculty Council of our school for successfully completing the rigorous application process and are being inducted as new members of the High Point Regional High School National Honor Society. We hope for those of you who are already members, or perhaps some members in the audience who are still with us, that it reminds you of the excellence that you are charged with maintaining as members of the nation's oldest, largest, and most prestigious student recognition organization. I'd like to take just a moment and just ask our current members of the NHS to please stand for a moment, be recognized for their services to High Point Regional High School and to the community at large that we all serve. Thank you very much for everything. They continually, every day, set standards that are something to be proud of, and they make the school what it is. They put it on the map. Now, just a shameless plug right here. One of the big programs that the NHS is spearheading every year, and has been on hiatus ever since the COVID problem kind of took it away from us. But we run an annual blood drive, and I figure it's a time to throw out a free advertisement. That'll be coming at the end of May 31st. It is open to all members of the community, any member of planet Earth, as long as you're 16 and older and you want to give blood for a great cause and save lives. You'll be hearing more about that. Hopefully, you won't forget. So we encourage you and we invite you, we implore you to please be part of that cooperative. Okay, and that'll be in the East Gym or the West Gym, and I don't even know yet because we're going back and forth, but it will be on May 31st all day long. So you are welcome and encouraged, and I thank you in advance. Anyway, at this time I'm delighted to announce that membership in the High Point Regional Chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by 19 candidates sitting here in front of us through the effective demonstration of the 4 pillars that I mentioned earlier. And our current officers of our local chapter will now review these qualities for the candidates, followed by the lighting of the ceremonial candles that are in front of you that represent the 4 pillars. Our chapter treasurer, Michaela Nelson, will begin with a description of service. Michaela?
My office is service. Service can be established in the routine of the day's work where many opportunities arise to help both others at school and in the community. A willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or public recognition is the quality we seek in our membership and promote for the entire student body. We are committed to volunteering our time and talents to the creation of a better tomorrow. I would like to introduce our secretary, Grace Farinella, to define leadership.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking initiative in the classroom and in school activities, a real leader strives to train and aid others to reach their common goals of success. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a school, community, or nation, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a meaningful and substantive charge to each of our members. I would like to introduce our Vice President, Kaya Ortega, to define character.
Character is the force within the individual that distinguishes each person from others. It creates for each of us our individuality, our goodness. It is that without which no one can respect oneself nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character that guides one through life, and once developed, grows steadily within. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant thought and action, the daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others, to be rather than to seem. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character. I would now like to introduce Lauren Reese to define scholarship.
Scholarship denotes a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for human education ends only within the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life, which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, the torch guiding us to understand the present, and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent to scholarship. I would now like to introduce Nat Frieda, who will read the names of our 2023 inductees into the National Honor Society.
Will the following new members of the High Point Regional Chapter of the National Honor Society please come forward to the front of the stage to be recognized for this great achievement? Jason Cordero, Caitlin King, Grace Pachowski, Anastasia Bosniak, Miso Brownbridge, Nicole Damstra, Madison Dixon, Clara Doherty, Hannah Gardner, Stephanie Giannuzzi, Caitlin Leisure, Edward Muller, Nicole Pallenberg, Aiden Serrano, Julia Szyminski, Lily Simons, Madison Talame, Nicholas Thomas, and Nolan Worley. At this time, I would like to introduce Arjun Kapadia, our blood drive chair, to administer the pledge of our new inductees.
At this time, will the new inductees of the National Honor Society please stand, raise your right hand, and join me in reciting the pledge. I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands, and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Congratulations on this momentous achievement, and may you continue to display and to demonstrate these ideals that afforded you this great honor as you enter each new chapter in your lives to come. May we please have another round of applause for these wonderful individuals. I would like to introduce Mr. Brian Drellick, the High Point STEM Supervisor, to introduce the Science National Honor Society.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of our advisor, Mr. Baker, and our department, I'd like to congratulate all our student inductees tonight and thank all of you for joining us. The Science National Honor Society recognizes students for their commitment to science, achievements in science, integrity, and honor. Science National Honor Society members challenge themselves with rigorous science classes every year and are required to demonstrate their academic achievement and integrity throughout their career at High Point. It is now my pleasure to introduce Leah Reinstein, our Science National Honor Society President. Leah?
Good evening. Thank you to everybody in the audience taking the time out of their day to be here tonight. I'm speaking on behalf of the Science National Honor Society, a society that creates a space for science-minded students to become more involved in the scientific community. At this time, it is imperative that the next generation has a solid base in different disciplines of STEM to solve the real-world problems that are currently ravaging our planet. One such pressing issue that I personally focus on in my science exploration is climate change and its many implications. Now, we have had temperature influx for as long as the Earth has existed. Ice ages and extreme drought, volcanic eruptions blanketing the Earth with lava, a giant asteroid wiping out an entire group of animals, and life has always adapted. The issue with this particular period in the Earth's history, unofficially coined the Anthropocene, is that the climate and its perfect balance that allows life to thrive is changing at too rapid of a pace. Yes, the Earth will persist, but without people like this stage of innovators behind me, the human race will not. So now, I am proud to recognize our newest members of the Science National Honor Society and new leaders in all fields of scientific discovery. When I call your name, please stand and walk to the front of the stage. Miso Brownridge, Nicole Damstra, Georgia Gelderman, Caitlin Leisure, Elizabeth Leto, Giselle Monroy, Natalie Portante, and Lily Simons. Please welcome Kyla Richards, our Science National Honor Society Vice President.
Good evening. Behind me is a group of students who are not only dedicated to completing the rigorous science coursework required for this society, but each individual possesses a burning passion for science, whether that be in the field of physics, environmental science, biology, or chemistry. As we are all well aware, in recent years, the world has faced a pandemic. However, due to the relentless work of countless scientists around the world, we were able to move forward and continue our lives. And recently, after the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, scientists have been monitoring the area for long-term potential health and environmental ramifications. Groundbreaking research is being accomplished by physicists every day by bringing fiction to life, such as the recent development of transistors that mimic Marvel's Ant-Man's suit and can process data at the speed of light. And behind me is a group of students who will continue to pursue their passion and become the next generation of these scientists. Scientists who will solve global crises, protect public and environmental health, and develop the new age of technology. All previously accepted members of the Science National Honor Society, please stand to be recognized for your accomplishments and commitment to science. Elena DeStories, advisor of Rho Kappa, the National Social Studies Honor Society.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here. Current members and inductees, you are being presented for induction into Rho Kappa, a society whose purpose is to honor excellence in the social studies. It is an honor to be selected for membership into this organization, and I congratulate each of you for attaining this distinction. I would like to introduce our president, Kaya Ortega, and our vice president, Grace Pachowski.
Our name, Rho Kappa, is taken from two words of Semitic origin. Rho is derived from resh, meaning head, and Kappa is derived from kaf, which means palm of the hand. Both of these terms symbolize our firm belief that knowledge without service is useless. Each of you meet the requirements for membership, and this includes superior work in social studies classes and participation in school or community service. Your work demonstrates the qualities of industry, initiative, and reliability. The principal purpose of Rho Kappa is to stimulate a deeper and more comprehensive understanding of all the academic disciplines comprising the social studies curriculum. Thus, on this occasion, it is appropriate to take a moment and reflect on the significance and contributions of the social studies in the development of the individual. I would also like to introduce our secretary, Kaylee Miller, and our treasurer, Lindsay Orlana, to assist. White represents veritas, or truth. According to Nadine Gordimer, a South African author, the truth isn't always beauty, but the hunger for it is. In social studies, we seek the truth. The truth we seek is untarnished by prejudice or bias. It is in this search that leads to greater understanding of the world and humanity's place in it.
Green stands for scientia, or knowledge. The great philosopher Euripides stated, "Whoso neglects learning in his youth loses the past and is dead for the future." As a member of Rho Kappa, you have the distinction of being one who seeks knowledge in your youth, and you are therefore building upon your understanding of the past in order to create a future of your own and that of the world in which we live.
Gold represents sapiencia, or wisdom. As Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes said, it is province of knowledge to speak, and it is the privilege of wisdom to listen. Wisdom is the tool we use to discern what is true and how to value that truth.
Blue represents officium, or service. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Indian political leader Mohandas Gandhi once said, "True civic engagement in school or community service lies not within what you do, but why you do it."
You have now briefly heard the major characteristics of the Rho Kappa scholar. Those of you who agree that you will strive to fulfill these fundamental principles, please rise for your induction. I promise to search for truth, to utilize knowledge, and to seek wisdom through the pursuit of academic excellence in social studies. I promise service to High Point Regional High School for true scholars of the social studies. Lead by example. I now declare you members of Rho Kappa. As your name is called, please stand and proceed to the front of the stage to be recognized for your membership. Bevan Brotman, Nicole Damstra, Clara Doherty, Caitlin Leisure, Santino Loyola, Devin Rosser, Julia Saminsky, Summer Silverthorne, Taylor Stevenson, Nicholas Thomas, and Anastasia Bosniak. We're going to wrap up our evening tonight. We wanted to thank all of you for coming out. Thank you very much. Let's give them one more round of applause.
So we're going to have refreshments and some coffee out back with some water. We're going to take photos of the National Honor Society students, so we're going to ask the parents and guests to head out that way while we take photos, and then they will join you momentarily, and we also will bring the music back out for you. The brass quintet will also perform. Thank you guys so much for coming. Have a great evening.